Welcome to the Been There Doing That podcast. I'm Robert Scrivener.
And I'm Gayla Scrivener.
We left the 9-to-5 grind, downsized, and our goal is to have freedom to live and to work from just about anywhere.
Welcome to another episode of the Been There Doing That podcast.
It's a fabulous podcast.
It is. Well, we like to think so anyway.
Well, I know in my own mind it is.
This is the opportunity that you and I get to talk to each other with headphones.
And a microphone and look at each other.
And look at each other.
Yeah, it's glorious, I tell you.
And remember what we did in the past week or so. And relay it. And, we have been doing stuff.
Busy.
Busy. But fun stuff. The fun stuff that we were doing was, well, for you anyway.
I like to think it's fun because it is fun.
We went to Warrensburg. And what was in Warrensburg, Missouri?
Well, there was a wonderful ham fest.
A ham fest?
A ham fest. Not to do with the bacon.
Now, that would be fun.
Not to do with the pigs. Ham fest, as in amateur radio.
Get together.
There we go.
Swap meet.
Socialization with fellow amateur radio operators.
Yeah, it's basically, there's ham clubs.
Yes, amateur radio clubs. Which would be ARC.
And they...
Amateur Radio Club, ARC.
Okay.
That's where they come up with that.
Oh, very good. All these acronyms
I'm
learning.
ARC.
And the usually local chapters of those groups put on a fundraising event called a ham fest.
Yeah.
Am I right?
You're getting into it, I can tell.
Well, I can understand stuff, but they get together with, they put the word out that, hey, here's for this amount of money, this is what a booth would cost. They give away drawings.
Raffles.
Oh, my goodness. Like
food.
Radios that are worth a lot of money.
That's right.
But this one in Warrensburg is one of the smaller ones you go to.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice and quaint. It's in a little high school.
Centerview is actually where it's at.
Which
outside of Warrensburg to the west.
It's almost touching, isn't it?
You could walk there in a day's time. Well, you might be able to make it in a half a day.
Oh, okay.
It's probably 5-6 miles from it.
How slow are you walking?
Oh, I mosey. Me and Oscar mosey.
Well, you had a good time. There wasn't much there that you wanted. I don't think you bought anything.
I didn't buy anything.
But you spent quite a bit of time there.
Yeah.
Why for?
I was catching up on socialization with fellow amateur radio operators.
You saw them eyeball to eyeball.
Yeah, we had an eyeball QSO is what they would say.
Really?
Yeah, it's an eyeball QSO where you see each other and talk.
Yeah. Like human beings.
Yeah. Instead of on the radio.
Well, that was nice. I ended up not wanting to stand there because I didn't know what the heck you were talking about. Yeah. But I did look around. And I saw a few things, but I didn't need anything. Because they have other things besides just radio stuff.
Oh, yeah.
There's stuff that I'm kind of interested in, like
steering
computer.
Wheel covers.
Well, there was steering. Yeah. And electronic thermometers.
Yeah.
And there's some computer stuff that sometimes I'm interested in. But I went out. I was delighted to go out to the Jeep and I took a cat nap.
Shh. Don't tell nobody because I wasn't supposed to know that.
I was reading and I found myself dozing off. So then I was like,
snoring?
I don't know, but I had a nice me time in the Jeep. And then I ended up getting my computer out and started working on some client work. And then you called me because you lost me.
Yeah, I thought you might have been in the cafeteria.
It would have been a little cooler, but I was just fine out in the Jeep and enjoying myself. And you came out and we left.
Yeah.
So we both had a good time at the Ham Fest.
Yeah. Yeah.
I enjoyed my wait, and you enjoyed your conversation.
Yeah.
You weren't ready to go home, so what did you do?
Well, we had planned on going to an antique flea market.
Oh, we did go.
And it's a big one.
I don't remember what it's called, but it's in Warrensburg.
Things
and it's,
remembered.
Oh, things remembered.
That's
it's like
why I remember this stuff.
you do,
Yeah.
because it's in your long-term memory. Short-term memory, not so good.
Yeah.
The
It's like 3 stories tall.
it's downtown. It's in an old historic building. I don't know if it was a factory or just a mercantile or what, but it's huge.
It is. Basement. It's got a basement.
Mm-hmm.
Got a main floor and an upstairs.
And last year when we went, we spent a long time. We went through
5
every
hours,
aisle.
6 hours.
Yeah.
We should have packed a lunch.
Yes, we were starving. This time, I don't know, we just weren't interested in fleas this time.
Well, we seen all the market on fleas and we just kept on going.
Yeah, we didn't spend very much time there.
We perused pretty quickly.
And we didn't see anything. Well, oh, yes, we did. I saw something that I really had to have. No, never mind. That was later in the day.
I was wondering what it was.
So I'll relay what we got later in the day. We left there and went across the street to a barbecue place.
Yes, Muddy Creek.
That was good.
It was tasty. Go to a barbecue place and eat salad.
Well, there was meat on the salad.
Yeah, it was good meat.
A lot of meat on the salad.
Brisket was pretty good.
Yeah, and I was thinking that the day was kind of over because we didn't really know what to do, but that was
We went
noon.
to a farmer's market, too.
Yes, we did. Everybody had tomatoes.
Everybody.
Everybody.
It was competitive pricing on tomatoes.
There was this one lady that, bless her heart, she was really trying to sell you a cantaloupe, but
Honeymelon.
she was a
Honeydew
little
melon.
too pushy.
Not cantaloupe.
Oh, honey melon.
Honeydew melon.
Okay. She was a little too pushy for your taste. So
Yeah.
you, even though I know you wanted the honeydew melon, you decided to dig your heels in and say, nope.
High pressure sales. No,
No.
ain't buying it. Ain't happening.
Poor lady.
Yeah.
Could have given her $2 and had that honeydew.
No, we could have, but we didn't.
We didn't. It would have been better cold anyway. And did we have the Jeep? Yes, we did. We had the refrigerator. We have no excuses.
Yeah.
You just
Didn't want to do it.
You don't like high pressure sales.
I don't.
No matter how. No matter what. Even at a farmer's market. Yeah. We left Warrensburg.
Yes.
And where did we go? And why?
We was eating lunch at the barbecue place and looked at the map, and I said, hey.
And I said, what?
I said, there's a state park north of here. Let's go.
All righty. Where are we going?
Battle of Lexington.
Oh, yeah.
Lexington, Missouri.
Well, and
I hadn't been there.
I'd never been there either.
Now we've both been there.
And gosh, we live in Missouri. There's so many places in Missouri that we haven't explored yet, and we live in Missouri.
Yeah, we do.
We need to take advantage of some downtime when
whenever you say we have downtime, I'll go.
We just shoot. Most of the exploring that we haven't done has been north.
Yep.
I don't know much about North Missouri.
It's flat,
Yeah.
farmland.
But we got to Lexington, and I didn't really realize kind of how cool the town is until we got there.
Yeah, it's an old historic town.
Apparently, they have more houses, they call them antebellum houses,
Yeah.
in that town than any other.
Huh.
And I think west of the Mississippi.
Well, good.
And what else? We went to the state park, what was at the state park?
Cannon, since it was a battle.
Yes.
I had a visitor center that's pretty neat with walkthrough tour.
And
I did also video, so you can post that later.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be a video.
Even the walkthrough.
Well, I haven't really watched it yet.
You haven't watched it at all.
Well, I better. Well, the Lexington is the county seat, and
For which county?
Lafayette.
Yeah, southern influence right there.
Well, did you know that Lexington was established right there on the river, on the Missouri River, and they were established mainly with Kentuckians, and so Lexington was actually named after Lexington, Kentucky.
Kentuckians.
Mm-hmm.
Now we know.
Yeah, I picked up this little book, and I was kind of reading over it and learned some things. And I learned that we missed a few things.
So we need to go back.
We do. We do. We need to learn to read the literature while we're there in town and then tour the town.
Then tour the town.
Yeah.
Not save it for later.
Right.
Okay.
But 1861 was the Battle of Lexington.
September.
Yes, about 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also known as the hemp battle, or yeah, I think that's what it's called. But it has hemp in it. Way back then, they made hemp rope,
Mm-hmm.
and it was
Used on ships.
really important for. And they hand wove them, spun them. I don't know how.
That'll work.
I don't know how they
Close
make rope,
enough.
but that was a very profitable business, I guess, and it was very much needed. And they had all these hemp bales, kind of like the old square hay bales, but they're hemp. Well, during the battle, and I am confused on which side does what, but they wet those hemp bales down, and then they hid behind them. And then the people shooting at them, it was kind of like a bulletproof vest for them because the bullets wouldn't go through the wet hemp.
Huh.
And so they would advance by rolling the hemp
rolling the bales up.
and then staying hidden behind them. Thought that was smart.
Why ain't they still using that?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know. It's probably something new technology.
Probably because the bullets now probably would go through. Muzzleloaders may not.
May not.
So, but I thought that was interesting. And the house that we toured, I want to say it was an Anderson house.
Sounds right to me.
And he was the guy that owned the hemp factory, basically.
Had 10 children.
Yeah. My goodness.
Yeah.
Well,
Not in that house, though. They moved there.
So, yeah. They moved there, and their youngest was 10 at the time. Or oldest. I don't know. I get confused.
Oldest said, "Come on over. It's a profitable town."
Ah.
That's what it was.
You?
Watched the video that I put together. That's how I know that.
Well, we got separated there because I went to the theater and watched a movie about the battle.
No, I didn't get to see that because I lost you.
Yeah. You were looking around, and I slipped through.
So I went outside. I went to tour the house. There's people over here dressed in period costume.
And you found out a lot. You told them that you lost your wife, but
yeah,
she was a very friendly lady.
I didn't catch her name.
I didn't either. But after the video, which was very nicely air conditioned, by the way,
your video.
My video, not the one I created, the one that I watched there at the visitor center. I left the visitor center because I didn't know really what else was there.
Mm-hmm.
So I went out the back door, followed the trail, and there you were
Found
on the front
me talking
porch.
to people.
No, you were on the back porch.
Yeah.
And that house is so close to the Missouri River. I mean, on the front porch, you can see it. And down the way, apparently, was the hemp factory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Lexington was a booming place, and that's why there was a battle there. They wanted to have control. They, as in both sides, wanted control of the river. And Lexington, well, actually, Missouri really didn't want to get involved in the Civil War.
That's right.
And the Civil War came to them anyway. But Lexington had a lot of slaves. Lafayette County had like 31% of the population were slaves.
Wow. See
what I learned when I read this little book?
Yeah, we should read the book while we're there.
I know. And that was they had slave that was part of their economy, but they didn't want to be involved in the Civil War. And so I think, though, how I understood it, that there was Union influence there, and then the Confederates came and took over the city. And that
sounds about right, the way she told it.
Yeah, and first was the Battle of Wilson's Creek down around Springfield, which we've been to that national park.
Yes, that's a big one.
Mm-hmm. And then the Lexington is what came shortly after, because Wilson's Creek battle was in August, and then September was Lexington.
That's shortly after, yeah.
Mm-hmm. They kind of marched up from Springfield. And the house is in really great shape. They've preserved it, and there's bullet holes
still there
everywhere.
Still in the ceiling.
They kicked the owner, Anderson, out, and they turned it into a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And the hospital was not supposed to be under siege. That was supposed to be like a rule of war, I guess. I don't know. But it ended up, they started firing on the hospital. And one side got it, and then the other side took it over. But I think we need to go up there. I'm assuming their reenactments are in September in conjunction
that would be a good assumption.
So I think we should investigate and go up there during the reenactments.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah, oh yeah, that'd be good video.
I'm surprised that it's not a national park.
Why?
I don't know. It's
Just because?
Yeah. Because it's such a significant battle.
It is a 3-day battle, yeah.
Yeah. And everything. So I don't know, but that town was, I think the town was also the place where the Pony Express started. No, that's St. Joe.
Yeah, we haven't been to St. Joe yet.
No. Well, the Pony Express did go there, according to this little book.
I'm assuming that the Pony Express went a lot of places.
I'm sure it did too. Well, one thing that we did miss that we were right there, the courthouse. The courthouse.
Downtown?
Downtown. We've driven around it.
We went right by it.
But we did not investigate it. We should investigate it even more closely because do you know what's there? There is a cannonball still embedded in the column.
Huh.
Yeah.
It's a courthouse.
At the courthouse from the Battle of Lexington.
Well, let's just leave it there. It was there from the 1860s.
Yeah, and it was intended for a guy's house, like a major or I don't know. It was intended for a guy's house down the road, but it
never made it.
It never made it there. I don't think that cannonballs have very good aim. I wouldn't think.
Well, depends on the person shooting it and aiming it.
I guess, or the wind and the trajectory. Here's a picture of it, Robert.
Oh my! Yeah, we should have went and looked at that.
I know. Oh well.
Oh.
But we had a good time.
Yes.
And enjoyed ourselves, and then we started. It was getting late in the day, so we started heading home. But
took the scenic route.
Yeah, and GPSs are frustrating. We should always take our gazetteers.
Yes.
Because it kept wanting us to go on these roads that I said no to, and every time that I would
avoid highways.
Right, I'd avoid highways, but we wanted to stop by. I don't know. I think we stopped by a Dollar General and we got gas. And every time that I'd put find on our route, then it would shoot off and go to the quicker route. Frustrating. But I can figure it out. I'm your navigator.
Yeah, you're my right-hand navigator.
Then we were driving along and we had ended up where we realized that my hometown that I grew up in was having their annual picnic.
137th annual.
Mm-hmm. Well, when I was growing up, it's always downtown, and it takes up Main Street. The road is closed. There's carnival rides. There's music in the bandstand. There's crafts. It's just a big to-do because in a town of, what's the population? 3,500 people.
There you go.
That's the big to-do in the county. And we used to live about 3 blocks from it.
Walking distance.
Yeah. And what was so cool is that all we had to do is like my grandparents came and then we would pick up our lawn chairs. Those lawn chairs that had their metal with the woven.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's what the kind of lawn chairs we had.
Aluminium.
What kind of accent is that?
That's aluminium or aluminum.
Aluminum. We'd all carry our lawn chairs down to the park around the bandstand early in the day, and we'd set up camp and everybody. It's just a sea of lawn chairs, and that's where people put their home base down there, and we didn't have to worry about parking or anything like that. So
walking distance.
Yeah, I have fond memories of that, but we decided to check it out. We went last year, I think, but
we did.
It was hot.
Yeah.
I was getting tired for the whole day, but
we got up early and left early too.
We got there, I want to say 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 was about right on the number.
And we parked, and then we started walking downtown, and there was this little antique shop on the way. It's just on the edge of Main Street, and we thought we'd hop in there because that's the only time that we go in there is at the picnic.
So I think it may be the only time they're open.
No. They're open more than that, I'm sure.
We just don't go.
But they have air conditioning. It felt good.
It did feel good. And you found?
And I found something that I was so excited about. And you had to splurge on $3 for me.
I know.
And you know,
hard-earned money.
I know. But, you know, those Tupperware salt and pepper shakers, the old school ones that kind of an hourglass shape, and then it's got a lid, and then it all closes up and it's travel. Well, we have a bigger set of those.
Yeah.
Well, I found a little mini set, and I loved them. I've been looking for something like that for a while because that's what I want to take
traveling
on our travels.
And they fit in there good.
Yes, and they're Tupperware, so they're good quality, and they snap shut, and they're retro.
Even better.
I like the retro.
Just like me.
You know what else Tupperware used to make, and that
I never was in a Tupperware club, so I don't know.
I know, but they used to make tops for salt and pepper shakers that would fit on film cameras. Or not film cameras, film containers. Canisters.
Well, we can make some of those.
Well, I've got to find the tops.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you'd have a clear one for salt and the black one for pepper.
Yeah, I could see that.
But now that I found those little mini ones, I'm super happy.
They hold a bunch.
They do.
I'm excited.
You should be.
just.
I can tell.
Yeah,
I can tell how
contain.
excited you are.
Get to cook with salt and pepper now.
Well, we took them away. But I just like the retro. It just makes me smile.
Well, good.
Well,
yeah.
I guess finishing out the week, we had a scare.
With Oscar.
Yes.
He was shaking and shivering and panting and couldn't get him to stop.
He seemed way in distress and just made us sad. We couldn't get him
comfortable.
We could not get him comfortable. And if you are new to the podcast and don't know what we're talking about, our little, how old is he? 8 years?
He's 8 years old.
I mean, we have 3 dachshunds.
Wiener dogs.
Yes. One's a wire hair and he's 9 years old.
Yeah.
And then for some unknown reason, we decided to
get him a companion.
And we went home with 2.
We got him 2 companions.
They're all related. They all have the same mama. And
I think the older one would have been happy just by himself.
I think so too. Yeah.
Oh
well. And then we have Lucy. We have the older one is Tucker. He's the wire hair. And then we have Lucy, who's a little girl that is highly motivated by food.
She's the big girl.
And then we have Oscar, which we believe is the youngest, but we don't know from that litter.
He does look the oldest, though.
Lucy and Oscar are litter mates. Oscar looks just like his daddy, and Lucy looks just like her mama.
The mama of all 3.
Mm-hmm. And Oscar, what day was it? Because you remember.
It was the 22nd of April.
Oh, of April. 22nd of April, Oscar was running along, and then all of a sudden...
back legs wouldn't work.
Yeah. And he let out a sad yelp. And you had to deal with that by yourself for a few days because I was out of town, and the vet saw him and put him on prednisone and pain relievers, and you kept him still, and we took him to Overland Expo West, and he had wheels, and he gathered a lot of attention.
Oh boy, did he.
But he was doing great. And then fast forward to, this past week, and he was in terrible distress. I was just really sad. And he wanted to hide, like under the shed, and go to a dark corner, and that's not a good sign.
No.
Not a good sign. And you were able to calm him down. How did you do that?
Just by letting him sit beside me and put my arm on him.
And then so we contacted the vet to see we know what's going on. I mean, his back legs don't work, but we wanted to see if there's anything that we could do. And our vet is super nice. And we saw his associate vet, which is even really nice too. I'm glad.
First time meeting her.
Yeah. And she took a lot of time with Oscar and examined him. And good news, very good news.
Yes.
He doesn't have any infections, no temperature, but probably what was going on is he might be feeling his back legs more.
Yeah, doesn't know what to do.
Doesn't know what to do. He is walking
And standing more.
And taking more steps on his own instead of scooting along. They went ahead and gave us another round of prednisone for the inflammation and some pain medicine. And we had given him some CBD oil in some dog biscuits, and we'll probably start that regimen up again. So,
yeah.
The vet was saying, did it help? And I looked at her and I said, I want to believe it did. I don't know. He doesn't complain much. It is sad that when we try to pick him up, he kind of squeaks
Whimpers
a little bit. Yeah. And he seems a little bit more sensitive. So we don't want to get him in the wheels and push him too hard or anything like that. We are delighted that he doesn't seem to be under distress right now. And
seems calm.
He seems calm, and he's enjoying walking. Well, I like to think he enjoys walking, but
he may not.
I take him out into the yard, and I think, okay, he's going to sit still, and then I turn around, and then he's gone, and he's several yards away. So he likes to explore.
Yeah.
So anybody that was wondering how Oscar's doing, we had a scare, but so far he's doing pretty well. I heard a train a-coming. It's coming around the bend. Well, I think that should wrap it up, Robert.
We better wrap it up quickly.
All right. Well, where can people find us?
BeenThereDoingThat.com.
And how can they email us?
Been there doing that.
Hey, don't you
Podcast at Been There Doing That. There we go. I'm learning.
Podcast at BeenThereDoingThat.com.
Ask me again.
Where can people email us, Robert?
Podcast at BeenThereDoingThat.com.
.com. Yes, you're almost there.
You're learning me.
Well, if you go to our website, you'll get links to the Instagram, which is Been There Doing That.
Yep.
That's where Robert spends a majority of his time.
And always adding to YouTube now, too.
Yes.
Been There Doing That.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That would be great.
I'm trying to hit 1,000.
That would be cool.
Subscribers.
You are exploring your cinematography skills.
That's a great word.
That's a lot of syllables.
A lot of syllables.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, we're glad that you joined us, and until next time,
we'll catch you later.